I suppose we should wait for not everyone obviously, but at least for some folks to come on before I start talking. Let me see what I said I was going to start talking about. Let's see. Cookie marketing group. Oh, there I am. Let's see, it says right here. Okay. So I will be talking about my experience in opening my brick and mortar with just over 10K. That's true. No loans and no grants, just money I made on Valentine's weekend. Okay. So, hi Ashley, how are you? What you learn opening a storefront, how I cut some of my expenses, how to not let props eat my profit away when it comes to dessert tables. Okay, we can do that. Of course, I wrote that. Okay, so I suppose we should have to start sometime, right? So if you guys have any questions, just let me know. My name is I sound like one of those groups, but my name is Jarmina Weatherspoon. I am the co-owner of Spoontastic Treats. We are a treat. We're not a bakery. Thank you so much. It's my pleasure, actually. Yes, I do bake. I do make sugar cookies and stuff like that. But our store is a treat store. It has baked goods, but not so much. It's like elevated baked goods. Well, you'll see. We have some stuff. But really, the description of our store is a chocolate store / treat store. So maybe I should show you guys first what the store looks like, because that was one of the things that I said I was going to cover. You're welcome, Vicky. So I'm going to take this off my tripod and let me give you, it's not a big store, so I'll definitely give you a tour of what it looks like. 1 second. Hi.
Are you guys going to be open around 4?
Yeah, for sure.
Beautiful.
Thank you. So, this is what the front of the store looks like from the inside, and then I'll go outside to show you guys what it looks like from the outside. So this is our front window. I designed this to where we're covered, but then not really. Like, see, I have these ladders that we put together as well. It kind of gives us a little bit of a covering, but then not really. It doesn't look like that, but it feels covered enough. Thank you, Ashley. And then these lights right here. Now that I'm showing it to you guys, we're gonna go straight right to it. So see these lights right here. First of all, I don't have money. I didn't have the money to pay for an electrician. What I did have was a budget for a handyman. So these lights right here are not electrically, what is that called? Like installed. These are just, they're plugged in. They're plug-ins. If you see right there at the back of that, there's a plug back there. So these are all individual lights. I just went on Amazon and got these plates that you see right there. I bought them for like, oh shoot, I bought them for like $5 each, and then I put them on top of it. Thank you. So this right here, each one of these babies cost me $15 each. And then the man that put the handyman was worth what he was. We paid him maybe $25 an hour to install the things that we couldn't install, but a lot of these things are pre-cut from Home Depot themselves. Like for example, this right here, see that? These are just are these 2x4? These are not 2x4s, maybe. I think they are. Yeah, they are 2x4s. And I glue them together. I glue them to the side to make that type of shelving, right? This right here, I spray painted them gold myself. And then again, just paid, thank you, Heather. And I just paid a handyman to install them because this right here is plaster. So we couldn't just go through there like just willy-nilly, like, install them. There's other steps that we had to do, that he had to do. And this right here would have been cheaper for me to buy as a whole, but I thought I was going cheap by buying them for like 75 cents a panel. I mean, it might have been cheaper, but I'm the one that put this together, so it took a lot of my time to do it because, like I said, this right here is plaster, and I had to see right there. That right there is foam board that I first installed, and then put the grass panels. And yeah, I found a lady online on Facebook to cut these for me in with her 3D printer, and then I painted them myself. I spray painted them myself. Hi, Nicole. Oh, thank you, Jessie. So, like I said, those lights aren't installed like through an electrical outlet or anything. I don't know what it's called, but they're just plugins. They're plugins, and then those crystal things you see, I bought them from Amazon for $5 each. I just put them on top of each other. So each one of those only cost me like $15 each. And then this right here, I really don't like to smell the VOC of paint and stuff. So this is wallpaper. This is wallpaper. It costs about $30 a panel. And it only took 2 to make this whole wall, to cover this whole wall. See, again, we got the same lady to cut the letters, and I just painted them myself, and I installed this myself and glittered them myself as well. And the same thing applies. This costs about, this right here, these shelves right here, 5 of them, this cost me $20 because this was all one piece. And I just asked the fella at Home Depot to cut it at the size that I want. The wallpaper is from Home Depot as well. So this whole thing cost me, right here, this wood cost me $20. This is just one plank. And I got the Home Depot fella to cut them in the sizes that I wanted. So that's how I got that. And then this are from the dollar store. I just spray painted them myself. And then again, the handyman that we hired installed them for us and stuff like that. And then as well, the same thing. This is the front. So when you walk in, let's see. So first of all, this is what the outside looks like. I don't know how much you can see. These, I did this myself. I have a silhouette cutter. And then the theme of the flowers outside is different from the inside. I did summer theme outside. I'm gonna change all of this. Hopefully in 2 days or so, I'll have enough time to turn this into like a winter wonderland for the holidays. And then again, this right here, same piece of wood from Home Depot. Just cut them all, just cut them into this, just get them to cut it for you at the size that you want. This right here cost, this is just a piece of plywood, again, Home Depot. I'm pretty sure this was $10. Cut it to the size that I wanted to cover, and that's what I have. So when you open the store, this is what you see. This is This is the kind of stuff that we carry. I do bake sugar cookies, those are our Oreo cakesicles, chocolate covered strawberries. We just opened. We really work at night. We are a lot busier at night because we stay open until 12 a.m. So during the day, we're here to prep for stuff and to get ready for night service and stuff. So, and these are from IKEA. I printed and cut the stickers myself. IKEA. And then if you notice, I have a lot of like display stuff. This is how I store my display stuff for my dessert tables without making it look like storage. Risers, everything. Not yet. And then this right here, oh, baked goods. That's our s'mores cookies. Again, this was from a convenience store. This right here is from a convenience store across the street. They were renovating, and this was so fugly. This was green. It was but I saw my vision. I knew that all I had to do was paint it white and gold, and everything will be A1. And that's exactly what I did. And now it doesn't look like a fugly green stuff. So we sell hot chocolate, Mom, as well. It's fairly empty right now. It looks like Halloween threw up in here because we're actually donating stuff to an elementary school tomorrow, and Halloween is a big thing. Every holiday is a big thing with us here. So we're gonna, and this sod, I painted this too. Spray painted this into white. Who does that? What's that? See, white and gold. I bought this for $500, which is super cheap, and because especially the compressor was new, so it's not all the way done to how I want it, but you know, it's good for now. Again, one of our coolers here, I painted that myself as well. Oh, this is just paperwork that goes with that. I haven't finished that yet either, so we're gonna eventually go to that. Again, these are my way of putting stuff in storage. This is how I store things. I turn them into display items just to make it look like it's part of it, but it really, you know, I take them. See, this was a flower wall for a dessert table. Those flowers I got from there because that's how I store my flowers, because I don't have any other place for them. So eventually I'll take that off again and put it back on there. And let's see what else is here. So in terms of tables and stuff, you know what these are all? These are all, you guys are all familiar of what this is. So instead of stacking them lengthwise, we stack them widthwise, and then just got pieces of wood, measure them accordingly, and screw them on top right here. See? And that is how we have that part. See? And then the cover of this in the front is that brick look in the front. Just, you know, that way we can move them accordingly as well. They are not they're not permanent fixtures. See, there we go. Empty. This is what we go through every night, which is, thank you. So by the time I get off this live, when I get off this live, I'm gonna start making all of this, and then I'm gonna be here for maybe until 8 p.m. and then my husband will take over, and then we'll turn on Uber and skip the dishes, and then we're pretty blessed to have them all majority sold out by the end of the night, and then repeat again the next day type of stuff. So these are the stuff that we carry. We basically carry a lot of IG treats that are we really thrive on social media. Everything is on social media. Unfortunately, we're at a space where we're at a place right now that if I don't post on social media, we're not gonna have as much sale as we would typically do during when I do post. Okay, so that's just storage for our packaging. But yeah, so you can get this right here. Like, these shelves are less than $100 each. This would be those ones that if you put this on top of each other, that's how you store stuff. But I just turn them into tables instead. Same as this. Wallpaper, this is what they look like in the front. But then when you look at the back, storage. That's how they look like. Thank you. And then, should I be afraid? Okay, look. I knew I was gonna do this live, but here I am. Did not organize this last night when I left. So this is what the back looks like. Oh, and then this right here is just we use this obviously to put a divider from the front to the back. I mean, from the front, from the store to the kitchen. Basically, all that is this fabric from a fabric store on sale. I'm pretty sure I bought that for like maybe $3 a yard, and then I just fabric glue it. I bought a PVC pipe. You see that? Oh, oops, phone, come on. If you look at right there, that's just PVC pipe that I put through there. That little piece is from Home Depot. Put it across through there, and that's how we have our division from the kitchen. I mean, from between the store and the kitchen. And then same thing as the lighting back here. Again, that cost me $10 each from Home Depot. We didn't tap into the electricity part of it, and because it's the back of the store, nobody really sees that. It's obvious more that with the white cord that you could see how it works. I made sure that the cord in the front, it was black so that it'll blend in, but the white cords I think was cheaper, so he just puts it all together and it's plugged into one outlet back there, and it all connects to like one switch. Hold on, see, which is right here, right there. That's one of the only disadvantage. And that's our fridge back there. Again, I should have organized this a little bit more before I showed a whole bunch of folks. I'll watch again over. Okay, Bev, see, and then also I just came from grocery, so that there's our stable, storage, microwave. So we're fairly new. This is supposed to be an office, but it's looking like a storage room right now because we're not there yet. And I swear it's a lot cleaner, but I'm so sorry. My apologies. There's the sink. Oh, Starbucks cups. They're so handy for all my... We use them for everything. Mixing, icing, everything. That's what we use them for when I get water. That's where thing. But do you turn the store? Do you run it? Yes, I do in the morning, and then my husband takes over at night. So I come in the morning, I make a lot of the dry products, which is like the chocolate covered marshmallows, and usually this is full of, by the time I leave here, this will be filled. Chocolate covered Rice Krispies right here. Chocolate covered marshmallows would be all here, and chocolate covered pretzels will be filled there. So by the time I leave around 8 o'clock, all this will be filled back up again, and then it'll be ready for when we open our third-party delivery app, which is Uber and Skip the Dishes. So those are our cookies. stuff like that. So that pretty much is, if you guys have any question, and then I'll see what else. Oh, of how I came up with my funds with the whole no grant and no loan. So, okay. Let me see, make sure I cover everything I said I was going to cover. Okay. I'm just gonna put my phone on this tripod, my stand bag. Uh-oh, and then flip this camera. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, come on, we're flipping. Oh, okay, hi. Oh, come on, Facebook is not gonna like that. See, I knew it. Okay, let me fix this. Oops. Okay, hi. Hi, Dolores. I'm going to tell you about how long were you in business before you opened your storefront. Okay, so we've been in business for the past 7 years. We were at a different location prior to this, but it was like, I don't know if you call it a flea market, but it's like a closed market. It was an indoor market, and we had a space in there for about 2 years, and then we closed and we went back to being an online store and just preparing our items in a certified kitchen. And then we open back up in this location February. Yes. So we opened back up in February in this location. So we've been here a little bit over 6 months, or is it? Yeah, we've been here for about 6 months, a little over 6 months now. And so, let me see what I said I was going to cover. So yes, we didn't have a loan. We didn't have any grants. That's not really something to be proud of, because I would really appreciate a grant. But what happened was, it was COVID, and I'm a traveler. Like, I travel state to state. Like, I'm always like, it's like I'm a little butterfly. And then COVID literally like clipped my wings, and I was like, I gotta do something. Like, you know what? I've been wanting to open a store, and I think it's time. When we closed over at the market, I said we would open back up when my youngest daughter will start school, and was the same year. I didn't even realize it was all the same year. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it because I'm bored. What I did, but I didn't have any money. I didn't have the money to open an actual storefront. So what I did was, one of the things that I do online is an online auction. I don't suggest online auction to anybody if your profit margin isn't as big. Oh, thank you, Jessie. I don't suggest you doing this. This is something I've been doing for a while. But I do online auction with my products, my treat products. And it was a Valentine's, it was for Valentine's. I did it in January. And by the time February rolled in, I made just a little bit over 7,000 from my online auction. It only took me about maybe 2 weeks to come up with that. I don't suggest that. You're gonna be like, it was over like maybe, it was over about 120 boxes, but the 120 boxes had like 60 items in it, and I retailed it for, the retail value was maybe, I said 120, and they sold between $70 to $85. Some were full 120, but that was like about 5. So this is how I'm gonna briefly explain how that works. So my Facebook following, say I would have a treat box. What I would do is I'll go online and say, okay, we're gonna have an auction. I'll post a picture. It's not really gambling either. It's like a silent auction online. You could see exactly who's bidding in front of you, so therefore you know what you're getting into. There's a time limit to it. Say I post a picture. I'll show you an example on my Instagram really quickly, so that you guys can visualize what I'm talking about. 1 second. I have a picture of it, of the very item actually that I auctioned that made me just a little bit over 7,000 from I'm pretty sure it's 120 orders. So this is it right here. So this is exactly actually the exact box that I auctioned off in January of this year. So it has that much items, and people, and I also, they bid on it. It started at $1. They bid on it. The starting bid was at $1, and then they have an hour. Whoever the last person that bids on it within that time frame wins it, and then they send me the money, and then I get their information, blah blah blah. So, and then I had 2 delivery dates. I always deliver. I had 2 delivery dates, and then by that time comes, we deliver. So that was what was that was our offering. Ooh, slow down, Jarmina, Jesus. So yes. So basically that's what helped us get the store. The money that we made from this is what. But like I said, I don't suggest you doing that if your profit margin isn't where it's supposed to be. My profit margin is beyond 100%. So, it's okay for me to do that. I don't suggest you do that if your inventory isn't, like, I'm the type of person that if I had $200 and I see some Oreo cookies or Rice Krispies, if I have $100 to my name and I see some Oreo cookies on sale for $1 or $1.50 for a whole pack, you better believe I'll spend $300 on that. You know, so that's the type of person I am. I am a gambling mother sucker, and my business is constantly, I will gamble on that because I know that I'm able to push that out. So that's not in everybody, and if you're not comfortable in doing that, then I don't suggest you do it, because if you're not comfortable in doing that, then it's going to stress you out. And stress is not your friend. Stress is, if you don't have to stress about anything, then choose not to. Do not choose the violence. I don't choose the violence. I'm used to gambling, so I can roll with that. So you have to be pretty comfortable with gambling in order to do that. And and so that's how that works for me. But now that I have a storefront, I no longer do auctions. But that's what I would do during like December. I would do that annually during December and February. Also with my dessert tables, I also auction off my dessert tables. So $1,000 auction table sometimes only goes for $400 or $500, but I'm still okay with that because that's where we go into the other stuff of how to save money. I'm okay with selling. I no longer do that now. I'm okay with selling tables that cost $1,000 for $500 or $600, because at the end of the day, all I'm doing, the money only comes, it's only my time and the money that I'm spending on the dessert part. And remember when I said when there's a sale, I'm spending everything on it, and I'm just gonna store it. I sure am. That's good, friend. So I'm gonna show you guys like some of my dessert tables. So that's the latest one that I did for a wedding, and I'll show you how to do that without spending all your money on it. That was the wedding prior to the last wedding that I did. That's the last one prior to, it's in sequence. And so here, I'll break. Oh, here's another one. So I'll break down this table for you on how to save money if you like to do dessert tables and stuff, and you're overwhelmed with the money for the capital. Let's say like e-favor mart, like, you know, they be having sales and stuff, but it's still expensive, and you feel as if you need this and this in order to have this type of execution, which you don't, because I execute these and they are not from any online stores. Let me show you. I see that backdrop, that gold and white backdrop you see? That's a shower curtain. That is a shower curtain, friends, from Walmart, and it cost me $10. The backdrop is $10. It's a shower curtain. Look at, you can see right there from the corner. I don't know if you guys are you're familiar with what shower curtains look like on the top. All I did was attach some Velcro straps at the back of that and then loop it through my backdrop. So that's one of the things to save. And you see right there, that's one of the pieces of wood I cut and I multi-use for everything. Those two stands right there that I'm pointing at right there, those are vases from Home Goods, and they're on sale. They were on sale for like probably $5. Anything that I see has potential that is on, but don't go collecting now. And then especially if you don't have space for it, and especially if you know you're not gonna have clients for it yet. Because what I do is, yes, I collect them, but I also know I'm able to utilize them by putting my dessert table, this is back in the day, putting my tables on sale. That way I could take photos of those said sale tables. Then I pimp those online, and that's how I generate more sales from that. And when I say I pimp those online, I mean like take photos, edit them through Lightroom or Photoshop, and then post them online. And then let's see, what else? Oh, here we go. So this table now, the backdrop for this, they're my curtains from home. I took my curtains off from my house. You can buy curtains on sale if again, Walmart and stuff like that. And if you don't see curtains that you like, and they're like $5 a panel, it really just depends. You are thank you, Jessie. Thank you. Curtains. If you can't find stylish curtains or elegant curtains, but you will, but don't buy them if they're not on sale. They gotta be on sale. If you cannot buy them on sale, go to your local fabric store. Go to your local fabric store. Do not let the design dictate your capital. You let what's on sale dictate your capital. Do you know what I mean? Like if I go to a fabric store, I know I need white, I need sheer. I'm going to the sale section. If I don't see white sheer, then I'm gonna go for whatever is close to white. And then I'll just offset that later with my treats. I'm a treat maker. Like I design treats, like gourmet treats and stuff like that. I'll work it out, even with chocolate and stuff. If certain things are not available, I'm not going out of my way to go buy stuff off Amazon or any of that. Learn how to mix your colors. Learn how to, there's a lot of things that, and when you start doing it and it becomes your norm, it's not out of the way. It's now your normal. So therefore you just cut costs all day, like, you know, because to me, I don't, and again, everyone is different. Just take mind with a salt of grain, because we all don't have that same, like we all don't think the same, but we are all entrepreneurs, and there's different ways of being an entrepreneur. I just happen to really like appreciate my work a lot more if my capital is like close to nothing. So, oh, one more thing. If you go to the fabric store, right, and there's certain fabric that are like $2 a meter, $1 a meter, and you buy a really long one, don't cut them. Cutting them cuts your ability to be creative. For example, 1 second, I'll show you exactly what I mean. You see that material at the bottom? You see that right here? The bottom and the top are all the same one piece of material. It's not cut. It's just the matter of how you lay it. What I did, I don't sew them either. I use fabric tape. I fabric tape this. I pleat them into fabric tape all the way till the end. See, you can tell that it isn't cut because, oops. You can tell that it isn't cut because that's where I turned it on the side. See, it's just a matter of folding it. And then what I did was I folded to the side, and I folded to the side and then overlapped it in the front, and then just cinched them to make it look like they're different pieces. Because once you cut a fabric, then it limits your ability to be able to be creative. And then you got like, unless you think you can, it's better, then, you know, but otherwise, don't cut those fabrics. If you are a dessert table person, do not cut those fabrics because it limits you. Like, this is so long that if my backdrop is like this style, I can put that through the top, take it in all the way till here, push it in, and then it'll be one piece. It'll still flow underneath. It'll just drape from the front, push it through the end of the table, and then it'll still come down like that. That's what I mean by not cutting your fabric. You save a lot of money that way as well. And then on top of that, if, say for example, you're doing a different dessert table and you don't want it to look like you just used that same material, just find something else that's like really sheer and put it on top of that one piece, and it'll completely change the look for everything. Like for example, I have this one table, I'll show you, that I've been using the same flowers, but it's not noticeable because of how I utilize them. Let's see. Oh, again, see right here, this was a store inside and we transformed them for an engagement. And that right there, curtains, and just sheer stuff. See those same flowers? You see these flowers right here? Those are the same flowers that is right there on my arch right now. And those are the same flowers that I use for these circles as well. And that burgundy maroon color right there, that is not a curtain. That is not made like that. I safety pin them. That's from the fabric store. I just safety pin the back and put a pull through in the middle to make it look like that. And again, you see, this is what I mean of no cutting material. This is a long fabric. I'll show you what it looks like. Oh, also you see the chandelier in the middle? That's my lampshade. And I don't know, earlier, those, what are they? The shelves, whatever. That's what they are right there. And let's see. Oh, that tablecloth, which is not a tablecloth, it's just a piece of fabric designed to whatever. That same one, it's the very same one that I use for this table right here, without making it look the same. At least not so obvious. See? And then let's see. Same here with that green material, the green and the gold. Those are not curtains. Those were not sewed in. That's just, they wanted green, so I had to find what was on sale at the fabric store, and that's what I found. And again, safety pin them over and then put them through the pole. Oh, so those flowers I was talking about, those are the same ones I used for this to make the centerpieces. Which is this setup right here. And again, it just depends on how you do things. Those are the same flowers for this wedding table. And you see this, the backdrop fabric, those were the same ones I used. And that engagement table, the only difference is I pulled the sheer in the front and tucked it into the side to give it a different look. But yeah, okay. So that basically covers, what else? If you guys have any questions, I buy a lot of my stuff from Home Goods, like Home Sense, but they gotta be on sale though. I cannot, if you go pick up your stuff, is there a contract so no one steals or cause damage? It's whenever I pick them up, usually I pick them up right before their party ends. So say their party ends at 12, then I'll be there around 11:30 to take it down. And so far, again, I don't, I'm going to give you I'm not gonna lie, and I'm gonna tell you the real truth, but again, I don't suggest doing this because not everything works for everybody. I don't do contracts. I have no contracts. The only thing I do is send an invoice via Square, and it just says that they gotta pay me 50%, which is their retainer fee, which goes towards the whole total of their table and stuff like that. And the only thing that I secure is that it's non-refundable. Otherwise, I have absolutely no contract when it comes to damages and stuff like that. I've been doing it for 7 years. I guess I've been pretty lucky not to have that kind of incident happening. And majority of them, I mean, I do verbally say, make sure you don't do this, you don't do that, whatever. So it's been good so far. My clientele has been pretty, I just haven't had that. I haven't had to write a contract, unfortunately and fortunately. And say, for example, if something was damaged, honestly, I'm a very carefree type of person. Like, I'll tell them, and I won't really expect anything out of it, because majority of my stuff, like I said, has been used multiple times. And if something happens to it, my profit margin is like, so it's okay. Like, yeah, no, like, it'll be okay. Like, a lot of my stuff also, like, I'd buy them from the dollar store and then spray paint them myself. I really like spray painting stuff as well. So a lot of it is just my time. Not just, because time is important, but otherwise, yeah, to answer the question, no, I don't have a contract. And no, I haven't had that happen to me. I guess I've been pretty lucky when it comes to that. So, and that's, yeah. I know why it took me that long to, because I know better. I've been part of so many groups, and everybody always has a story, and I should have a contract by now set in place. But what a bad example. I'm sorry, y'all. So let's what else did I say I was going to cover? We covered how I got my capital for the opening of my storefront. I covered how to save money on thank you, Stephanie. And I covered how to cut costs when it comes to, like, that's really important. First of all, I don't know if you guys realize, but like, ooh, I do not meant to sound like that, but I think so too, Bev. That's why, thank you. But I just didn't want to say that because I feel like there is a difference. I paperwork is not my thing. It's just the only thing that I'm really like concerned about is that nobody's coming back to me about we changed our mind when it comes to this and this. Like, I'm a very, very understanding person. I would never not give anyone credit for their money because I respect everyone. I respect everybody entrusting me with their hard-earned money. So it's never not to say that I'm gonna give you. I'm not gonna give you a credit. I'll always give them a credit. Yes, that is true, Bev. Thank you. I will not. What I'll do is I'll give them a credit. I'll give them a credit. Say if something happens, which is COVID, which did happen to a lot. Two of my brides. And like one hired me to do their candy caramel apples, and they postponed their wedding like 2-3 times already, and I've never like, oh, I'm sorry, since that. No, I work with them. I always do. Like, you know, cool, like, are you booked for this day? I was like, I'm not, but even if I was, I'll make sure that I'll set aside some stuff because it's someone's wedding. You know what I mean? So, and one more thing that I have been fortunate enough, like I have dealt with a lot of wedding dessert tables, and I've been fortunate enough to have been trusted by all these brides that just allow me to do my thing and not question me or micro manage me when it comes to wanting their day to be perfect, because the pressure on me is already that I put on myself when it comes to people's weddings or any special events. Anybody trusting me with their money, I'm like, the pressure is on, because like I know how hard people works for their money. So I really like, but I hate being micromanaged, especially with like the artistic part of the stuff, because I feel like when my wings get clipped, then my passion won't be in it. Oh, thank you so much, Bev. Thank you. I appreciate that. And yeah, so I'm really, really, really fortunate that way. Like, I haven't been micromanaged yet. And and although though, one thing I do is if I feel as if the vibe isn't there, like if there's too many repetitive questions, or I feel as if they don't really have the money to spend, but they want to have it but they don't have it, I find a way. I tell them that I'm booked, because if somebody, for a fact, just from our conversation, I can tell that they don't have the finances to begin with to afford my service, it's gonna be a problem, and I don't want to be part of that problem. So I'm booked during that time, and otherwise that's how I determine whether I want to take the job on or not, because like it's good for the both of us. Like, I don't want I feel as if I'm a high empath person, so I can feel a lot of things just in conversations, even if it's just via the business messenger, like the DMs and stuff. I can feel it because I can feel the way that I'm being questioned, the way, like, you know, I don't want it, because if they're already feeling all sorts of feels, then it's not going to go from there. And I don't want that. I don't want that. I want them to be able to be comfortable with whoever they're working with, and I want them to work with a budget that they're comfortable with. I just can't work with their budget, but they're gonna find somebody, and it's just not gonna be me, because at the end of the day, I've learned in the past that it isn't. If I feel like that person isn't my client, I'm okay not having that service rendered through me, because it's a lot better that way. There's always someone for everybody. I'm not everyone's someone. So, if you know what I mean. So, thank you. So, I think that covers everything. Oh, one thing I forgot. Lighting. If you are opening, that's why I spent all my money on the handyman and the big ticketed items in the store and installation. One of the things that cost me the most is the installation of our sink and stuff like that, because there wasn't an existing sink here to be able to. This was a clothing store. This wasn't a kitchen. This was a jewelry store, and then it became a clothing store. So that's where a lot of my money went. The parts for the sink and the installation of that. That's where majority of my money went to, and that's okay, because it's the heart and soul, obviously, of our operation and stuff. But one thing about after that is lighting. Lighting is key. The way the lights look and the type of lights that you choose to reflect your store. You want it to be bright, but then you don't want it starkly bright that it's like, ah! So I suggest, like, you look into lighting, like lumens and all that kind of stuff, because lighting is so important. It is so important. And so I think that's it, ladies. So thank you so much for the opportunity, and I so hope that I was able to answer some of your questions, and that I was able to make a difference, because I really want everyone to win. Like, fabric store is your best friend. Amazon is not your best friend all the time. If you work with chocolate, don't spend all your money on color mill. Oh my God, don't shoot me. I'm sorry. Don't shoot me, please. Like, learn, get you the color wheel. Get you a color wheel and find out what color makes what color. Because you can buy melts, regular melts, chocolate melts, and then mix those colors together, add it to your white, and that's how you get colors. That's how I do a lot of things. I'm really big on cutting costs, but not affecting the quality of my overall work. Not affecting the cause. You're welcome, Viv. Thank you, Fran. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Alejandra. Thank you. Like, it is so, like, even with baking, like, like, it's so easy to get lost with cookie cutters, but I'm sure somebody else is gonna tell. I'm pretty sure a lot of you knows that though. But when I was doing sugar cookies, I was making my own cookie cutters, not with a machine. Like, I was printing them and cutting them myself, and then putting the knife through the flour and then cutting them and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, because I like my profit to be my profit, and not to let it go to, like, you know, cookie cutters and like unnecessary props that you think you need in order to really be considered like a professional or to be taken seriously, or none of that. Like, you don't need that. Like, you know, get you your basics. Get you your white curtains. White is always white, off-white. Those are your basics. You could dress it up. You could do whatever you want. You could grow with that after. So thank you. Thank you so much, ladies. I appreciate your time. And I hope I'll see you guys soon. And my page's name is Spoontastic Treats. If anybody wants to follow me. I'm sorry, Heather. Corey. Okay. Thank you. Have a great day, you guys, and happy Halloween. My phone starts ringing.